So welcome back to Rock Solid Motorsports. One thing we don't talk about much on our YouTube channel, we probably really should, is actually the service projects that we take on here at Rock Solid Motorsports for our service customers. So we're not only a dealership, we're also a small service center for classic and special interest vehicles. But the one interesting project we just took on recently was actually this 1973 Land Rover Series III. And this truck, the goal here, the customer, it's his wife's summer daily driver, and they were just kind of sick of fighting with the choke and the carburetor and wanted to move it on to something more reliable like fuel injection, which is really common nowadays in today's market. And this truck, the fun thing about this is they actually do not make a kit to convert these Land Rovers to fuel injection. So we kind of had to be a little creative and come up with a solution for them. And we'll show you exactly what we did here. So coming under the hood of the Land Rover, you'll see that it still retains its very factory 2.25 liter 4-cylinder that came naturally in these Land Rover Series 3s. And the biggest hurdle of this project, of course, because nobody makes a kit, was finding a throttle body and fuel injection kit that actually mates up to these. And Holley, their Sniper system for the Autolite 1100, is awfully close. You do have to massage your mounting bolts down here a little bit to get that to fit the factory bolt pattern for the intake. And then there, of course, we have the factory style spacer down here, some thick cut gaskets to kind of overcome. There is a little lip on the intake manifold that can raise some challenges. And then on top of that, you have to come up with a throttle linkage, which we have here. You can see a modified throttle mechanism here, a little turnbuckle that I came up with, and that's nice and adjustable. It makes some fine-tuning of the throttle blade easier, and you have to bend your factory vacuum tube to avoid the throttle body. But that's about the trickiest part of a project like this, and where some of the custom work comes into play. But and then in reality, of course, all fuel lines have been upgraded to nice 6 AN line, all new AN fittings, just to make it a more robust and just to handle the added fuel pressure, because you're going from something like 3 to 5 psi of fuel pressure up to upwards of 50 to 55 psi. So as another huge hurdle of this, on top of trying to figure out the throttle linkages or linkage, and then on top of that, you're adding sensors that this truck, of course, would never have been with in the factory. You have your coolant temp sensor here so that the computer can adjust your fuel maps first based on the coolant temp. And we'll get underneath the truck later to show you, but of course you have added O2 sensors, throttle positioning sensors, fuel pump relay, new high pressure fuel pump, which we elected to go with an inline fuel pump that is now mounted to the frame. And we'll go ahead and get on underneath the truck and show you some of that. So coming underneath the Land Rover, during the time of this project, the customer did elect to go with a new gas tank, which is always a good choice. The mounting flanges were getting a little rusty, and a couple of them had broken off there. I mean, that is it right there in front of my cart. So yeah, brand new fuel pump, and we did have to change up some of the fittings and finding some of the stuff to kind of adapt the factory pickup tube and drain for the return style system. Getting those to fit with the AN fittings, just kind of had to find the right fittings to make that happen, all play nicely, but all were readily available at your local auto parts store, so it wasn't a big challenge to overcome. And then of course you have your pickup, which is 3/8 fuel line. Of course, you want your fuel filter before your pump, and then run that line forward. And then here's your high pressure inline fuel pump, which gets its signal from the computer, and you just have to run the ground, which I elected to run straight to the battery, and then run straight to an AN line that'll run over top the engine. Just wanted to keep the fuel line routing roughly to the factory-esque position. But this is a very simple solution, so you don't have to worry about modifying your gas tank for an intake pump. and this does the job very well. And it's not this is actually a very quiet fuel pump and a great solution for this. But speaking of some of the electrical, we'll go back under the hood and we'll kind of talk through. It's very simple hooking up these Holley Sniper systems, and on this Land Rover it was no exception. So we'll just show you some of that. Now that we're back under the hood, one thing I wanted to address too that I didn't earlier when we were under the hood was actually the cooling system, because one thing you don't really think about but is important to note on these is actually the thermostat on these Land Rovers. I believe the factory one is a 160-degree thermostat, but these Holley Sniper units don't start learning and making adjustments until after the vehicle's warmed up to 160 degrees. So if your thermostat's opening and keeping those temps down below that, it doesn't do you any good. It never allows the computer ECM to learn and make the proper fuel adjustments to make the vehicle run its best. So we did switch out the thermostat for a 180-degree thermostat when we went ahead and did that, and put the coolant temp sensor in at the same time. Now, as far as electrics go, or the electronics go, and the wiring, I mean, everything comes with pretty much pre-wired harnesses. O2 sensor comes with its own pigtail, and there's a plug on the receiving end at the ECM that is very easy to run. Of course, I ran back behind along the firewall. That's where I elected to run most of the electronics, just to keep them out of the way and tidy, and so you don't really notice them. But your main harness, I mean, you really only have to hook up your coil signal wire to the negative post on your coil, which you can see is that yellow wire back there running along the firewall, and you have your added fuel pump relay on the firewall, as well as your fuse connection there for the battery, because there's not a whole lot of wires to hook up to the truck itself. You do have your positive here that you want to hook up directly to the battery, and your negative that you want to hook directly to the battery. That's very important. And you want to make sure you have a very stout engine ground, in which here we have a, I believe, 4-gauge wire or cable running straight from the battery to the engine block. So our ground is excellent. No issues there. And the other wire you have to run with your keyed power, and is a little pink wire on the main harness that I just ran through factory grommet and into the engine and onto keyed power on the fuse panel inside the interior. And the other one I elected to run inside. It's optional whether or not you want to use it. You can actually use it out here or run it through a car's window if you don't plan to leave it hooked up all the time. But I ran the wire for the LCD display inside the interior, which I will show you where I ran that once we go inside. So coming into the interior, of course, you want to keep this as factory as possible, which we did remove the choke, of course, because you don't need that anymore. You could leave the knob in there just to fill that hole, or we could just cover that up with a grommet of some sort. No biggie there. But then running the wire, of course, we ran our ignition wire to the back of the fuse panel, which is just under the steering column here. Very easy to get to on these Land Rovers. I mean, that's probably one of the easiest parts of this project. And of course, now we run. The customer elected not to have the LCD display mounted to the truck, wanted to keep his dash clean, but you have this nice little cubby here. Just coil up your wire, and you can just leave your LCD screen there. But now, go ahead and get on in the truck. But now when you turn your key to run, if you did everything properly, your LCD screen that you can see there comes on. You can see where your IAC position is, your coolant temp sensor, your map. Yeah, of course our throttle positioning sensor is at 0 and the engine is at a stall. But yeah, no more setting the choke, pumping gas. Just get in, crank it for a little bit. Yeah, she comes to life just like she should, just like you'd expect from a fuel injected vehicle. Yep. So there you have it. Yeah, fuel injected Land Rover.